Kustok, and we are going viral. Yesterday, first-time All-Star D'Angelo Russell dropped 20 points 6 times on the road for the Nets. The win clinched a playoff berth for Brooklyn. Here's what Russell had to say after the game.
D'Angelo, the Nets head into the playoffs for the first time since 2015. What are you feeling right now?
So it's for sure.
It is for sure.
Man, that's crazy. I don't even know what to think, man. Give glory to God. Hey, nah, it's an amazing feeling, man. We got a great group of guys, great coaching staff. I think it's the best group to do this with, man. There's a lot of our first times doing it. Man, it's gonna be a blast. I'm excited.
They're a fun group. They're a fun group.
What did you think their ceiling was at the beginning of the year?
I'm not just saying this, being around them and seeing what they did during the offseason, I thought that they could make the playoffs, but everything would have to work right, and you had a handful of players that would need to exceed some of the ceilings that you thought they might have in the early parts of their career, and they all did that. You check down the entire roster, and it's been special to watch. Kenny Atkinson has done a tremendous job, and Sean Marks, how they put this roster
You got
together.
a little bonus now they made with you covering the team and everything? I mean, it's got to be something. You're working more games. It's got to be something in it for you.
Not a bonus other than just happiness.
Okay.
You got to be joy of being able to be.
We got to come on. You got to you
around the playoffs.
Nets. You think you make the playoffs without Sarah Kustok? Like all the good juju?
I like that.
Come on, that's worth a couple wins. Not like y'all basically the 60
You duel up as an agent?
Well, I went to the actual stadium and listened to your call in my ear compared to listening to the end game.
Oh, really?
You're a true friend.
Well, you know.
may be lying, but we'll roll.
That's okay. It's TV. I see people doing it every day.
He is, Sarah. Moving on to LeBron James.
What, he is what?
Lying. Already shut down for this year. Already focused on next season. A lot of questions swirling around this Lakers team. Who's going to be their coach next year? How will LeBron's body hold up? And will any of the young core even be around next season? Number of moving parts as the Lakers hit the summer, but LeBron says he's excited for the journey.
And I'm looking forward to seeing who jumps in the car with me and want to take this ride to the top. I know what I bring to the game. I know my commitment to the game. I've never cheated the game, and throughout my career, it's always given back to me. And that doesn't say, I'm not saying I'm guaranteeing a championship, but I am guaranteeing my body. I'm guaranteeing my mind will be and always be in championship mindset until I'm done.
All right, Sarah, so as we look to this offseason now, what should LeBron's pitch be to free agents?
He should unequivocally tell free agents, I know he's not guaranteeing a championship, but he should sit across and look in the eyes of whoever he's trying to pitch and say that that is his #1 and sole goal, is to win a championship. And whatever he needs to do, and not just about returning to being the greatest player in the NBA currently, not just about what his body will do, but whatever it takes in that role, in maybe deferring some, that he is willing to do that. And I think, you know, Lakers, one of the greatest organizations and franchises that we have seen, trying to return them back to a championship level is a drawing point. Living in Los Angeles is a selling point. But I think more than anything, it's about, Allie Clifton did a great job in that sit down in the one-on-one interview, and she asked him later in that about, will you be coached differently? Or I'm not sure how she worded it, but it was about how will you be able to be coached differently after sitting back and watching so much of the way the season unfolded. I think, too, he needs to ask himself and be able to articulate to a guy, how will he potentially be a different teammate at this point of his career? And again, that goes back to doing whatever it takes. And I think that has to be the #1 purpose of the message he's trying to get across.
And I think a lot of that part of it depends on who he's talking to. If they were to bring in Kawhi Leonard, LeBron's game doesn't really have to change at all. Like, the way LeBron's played his whole career, that's why Kawhi's such a perfect fit. Kawhi's not a ball-dominant guy. He's not a guy that wants to initiate a lot of the offense the way LeBron does. But if he wants to recruit Kyrie or Kimba, like we saw he and Kyrie win a championship together, but we also saw Kyrie leave and say, I want more responsibility. I want a bigger role. So it wouldn't just be LeBron a few times a quarter goes and stands in the corner and lets Kyrie do his thing. it would be more of a partnership. He wouldn't be recruiting Anthony Davis, but obviously LeBron's game would have to adjust somewhat with Anthony Davis. He's never had a dominant big man like that. Chris Bosh was a great player who then had to change his game entirely, but Anthony Davis would be the best big man LeBron's ever played with. And so it depends on who he's talking to. What he can say to all of them is, you come here, we will together bring the Lakers back to prominence. And if you are worried about who's getting the credit, who's the alpha on the team, in a couple years, or 3 years, I'm gone. In a couple years, it becomes your team no matter what, and it can be a partnership in the meantime. I think that's the pitch to anybody. The risk I think LeBron's running and Magic is running and the Lakers is can you simultaneously pitch multiple guys without it turning off whomever your number one option is, whomever your best option is? Well,
I was a college coach, so a major factor in that, an assistant, is recruiting. And so there is a delicate balance to saying, I want you to play on my team, I want to play with you, but with that guy sitting there knowing, well, I also know you're talking to Kawhi and you're talking to Kyrie, and oh, I'm Kemba Walker, but what did you say to this person, and do you want him more than me, and I'm your third choice? I think that's going to be one of the trickiest parts of this. LeBron has been vocal in saying that he is going to make recruiting pitches. He is going to be active in trying to get guys to come play with him, but how exactly does he phrase things? In knowing, and LeBron is brilliant in how he thinks about things and strategizes things, knowing how he is going to tailor that to who he's talking to. Why exactly does he want Kawhi? Why exactly does he want Kevin Durant?
And
I think that's going to be an important part of it.
Is it LeBron that goes out and sits down one-on-one with someone, or is it Magic Johnson that you send out to sit down one-on-one and say, hey, this is where the team's going? It's not all LeBron. It's not all going to be LeBron. Like, you're going to be a big part of this, if not the biggest part of it. I mean, who do you even send out?
That's a great question, and I guarantee you the Lakers don't have a plan. Because if they had a plan, they would utilize that last year when LeBron. Magic Johnson sitting out in front of LeBron's house. Well, he got two houses in there, but he's sitting out in front of one of them. LeBron, which house you going to be at? Where was Rob Pelinka? Why wasn't he in OKC with Paul George? Paul George getting ready to be thrown a party by the OKC organization and Russell Westbrook because he's getting ready to stay there. So they didn't even have a chance with Paul George. Didn't even have a meeting set up. So now with all these free agents, Kyrie, KD, Kawhi, like Kemba, like who do I go after? So I don't believe they'll have a plan. So I believe this can really be screwed up. But if it's me, I'm going after KD. I'm going after KD first. And Nick, you made a reference of the prom earlier. Listen, if I invite you to the prom, yeah, you can tell me no. But I invited you first. I don't care if you tell me no. Whoever you want to get, go out and try to get them. Where I think LeBron is going to make a mistake is because I'm listening to his interview and I'm holding on to every word. LeBron needs to tell the other players what I can do for you. NBA players and professional athletes, man, they want to know what's in this for me. And you telling me you're going to drive the car for a couple years and then I'm going to turn it, that ain't enough. So you mean for 2 years I got to ride around with you, be part of your little band, and I can't drive? No, sirree. I would be emphatic. And I have had the most success dealing with athletes when I let them know from the beginning what I can do for them. As if I'm going to be all right if you don't decide to take this coaching or guidance I'm going to give you. That's a skill or that's a tact that LeBron needs to go about it. KD, man, this is what I can do for you, KD. Kyrie, this is what I can do for you, Kyrie, and go about it that way. I don't care about nobody's feelings being hurt. I'm trying to secure the end of my career. This is the most important move of LeBron James's career because the rest, it's past. It's history. He's gone to Miami. Right. He's gone back to Cleveland. This is the most important decision he'll make in the next 10 years.
Because I'm sure no girls turned you down going to prom.
No, you
were their first choice. That was it. They were done and done. But,
yeah, I got a pretty good prom story, and it involved a couple girls.
For the break. But all of these free agents have a lot of very good options, whether it's staying with the teams they're currently on, whether it's the other teams that are possibilities. So it's not like it's a no-brainer for them to say, yeah, I want to go play with you.
Just real quick, just to answer, Jenna, your question, though, LeBron, it's not tampering if LeBron goes and talks to these guys. Magic can't do it until the end of June. So it is LeBron's job, as these guys get eliminated from the playoffs. Charlotte's not going to make it, or probably isn't going to make it. It's LeBron's job to at least go talk with Kemba, even if Kemba's not the first choice. And then who's next off the list? Boston's probably the next people. He needs to be talking with Kyrie. I don't think he can do much of the recruiting if guys are still playing. So with Kevin Durant, you're going to have to wait the longest. With Kawhi Leonard, you might have to wait just as long. They could make the finals. But Magic has been dinged for tampering a couple times. Magic can't go get in a room with him. LeBron, he can meet with anybody he wants. There's no rules against that. He can be pinching them on Space Jam. He can go talk with all these guys and start getting the wheels turning.
Imagine the buzz if LeBron said, man, I went and talked to KD. And KD was like,
who wants to bet that LeBron shows up at a Golden State game during the playoffs?
Oh,
I think he's going to show.
I wouldn't show my face. I wouldn't show my face.
LeBron's going to show
him and Nick Wright are off the playoffs.
Sarah, thanks for joining us.
We've been seeing his face 8 years in a row in the finals. Thank you.
Great job, Sarah.